Hey, so we're back on our second day, and here is the patch. You can see it's dried up pretty well. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning up on this, and then filling in some spots that still need some fixing up, like again, I tried to use an artist's knife, palette knife, and that ended up causing me problems. So like I've got a very, very tiny fracture right here and some other stuff like back here. So going to try and take care of those and clean them up a little bit. I think this splintered off of the hips. Is that the one that goes? No. This must be the one off the shoulder then. I'm not sure where this came from now. Unfortunately, it's just a small little piece. But everything else is looking good on here. So I'm going to start by cleaning up a little bit more of what was going on yesterday. This water is fresh off the stove, so it's very hot. I don't want it to be wet, I just want it to be damp. Because I want to wipe away the leftover hide glue. So I'm just going to get it a little wet. There we go, that's looking much better. Tear off a fresh piece of my shop towel here. Shop towel really is best for doing this sort of stuff. I would hate to try and do this with a regular paper towel. Shop towels work great. There we go. Alright. Now, on the bottom here, I've got an excess of glue. A more professional luthier may want to... camera's up. My camera used to be in that corner, now it's in that corner. A more professional luthier would probably want to clean this up or something. I'm not going to worry about it so much. I just don't have the skill, and I'm already way over my head, and it's not like it's a super important violin. I just want to get it playing again, you know? Alright. Now, one thing I realized was after I was cleaning this up yesterday, and I did the test fitting to make sure that it's going to go back together okay. I have this gap here. Actually, is that where this is from? That might be it. Yes, it is. Okay. That's going to be interesting to try and pull off during the repair. Excuse me. But I think I can do it. Something else that I've got going on, you know, I have these clamps. I made 8 more clamps. I had 6 previously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I got 8 more clamps. So we'll be placing these all around the violin. Okay, these bigger ones that I have from before though, they are going to be my primary clamps. So I have them in a separate pile to keep them ready. There we go. They're in a separate pile, and all right, let's get the glue warming up, and I was thinking about putting wood putty in these blemishes. But there isn't really space to do that. I might just glue them also, or leave them be. I don't want to leave them be because I'm worried that they could develop into cracks at some point. What I can do, I suppose, is let's go ahead and turn our attention down here. I've got some hide glue in here. My brush is getting all sorts of little hairs. Take some of this, get it wet, brush it very gently on here so that it can start soaking into the wood a little bit. Just to help seal up the little cracks that were forming. The other one was over here. All right. Yeah, that's pretty liquid. I'm going to heat up what's already in the cup. And let's get some more glue in there. All right. Now this is the thing that I have been most nervous about for a long time, because there is nothing quite like gluing up an instrument in terms of like as far as I can tell, when it comes to doing instrument repair, this is the most time sensitive thing out of all of them. All of the time sensitive things can also be really messy, it looks like. I want to try and remember to brush inside to out, which will help keep the glue, like if there's any point where I've got too much glue, it'll go on the inside of the violin instead of down the outside. And the thing that makes me most nervous about this process, having never done it before, isn't just the time sensitivity of it. I don't really like time sensitive type stuff. But the permanency, you know, like if I mess this up, to fix it is going to be such a huge job. Alright, there we go. That's pretty well covered. Alright. That's going to be allowed to dry and get tacky while I just real quickly go around the inside here. Nobody ever warns you, I think, that hide glue has a smell when it gets worn. Which is pretty obvious if you know that it's actually made from hide and all that. But still, it's one of those things, you don't think about it until you're actually working with the hide glue. It's like, hey, this smells. Alright. I don't think there's any way for me to do this without getting some glue on my hands, which I was hoping to avoid, but oh well. Line that up, sit it down gently, clean my hands a little. Alright. Now there's 6 points of contact that I need to be actively thinking about. Each point here and the top and the bottom, which is really going to be roughly 8 clamps just on its own. Come on. first clamp goes on, I'm gonna double check positioning, because after this first clamp, I really don't want anything to be moving. Oh, the clamp came off, the clamp came off. Ah, there it goes. Alright. How does it look? Does it look good? Yeah.
They go outside. Mom said I can go outside some now.
I am fixing your violin. Everybody, this is Lemony, whose violin I'm repairing.
Okay.
Alright.
I actually did not notice you were recording at the time.
You mean right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, additionally, I need to fit this sliver of wood back in here. Like I said, that's going to be interesting. And with that, I think I'm going to get some water on the brush. So that hopefully the glue will sink in around that bit. There. I'll go ahead and clamp here. Okay. This is clamped. So with these hold-made clamps, it seems like the best way to work with them is squeeze the wood and then screw it down. There we are. Okay. Am I missing a clamp? It's 4. Here's number 5. Where's number 6? Did I set it down someplace?
Is it okay if I paint?
Should I be cleaning? Do you want to choose painting or do you want to choose birthday party?
Mom said I could go outside, and I thought you were outside right now. So I wanted to go outside and see you.
I understand.
Okay, if I tell Mom.
Bet you're not going outside? Yep, that's fine. Alright, that one's good. Phew. So that's what we've got so far. this point, now we're just getting it nice and tight. How many more clamps do I have? 6. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, perfect. Now instead of here, I might move that one over there. Let's see. My concern is over here. Is that... Yep. All right. So
Those are a lot of clasps, Dad. Are you sure you
Clamp.
don't have too many?
I don't have enough. If it were up to me, I would have probably about twice as many. That's crazy, right? She's so silly.
Don't call me silly.
You are silly.
No, I'm
We're all
not.
silly here.
You are not. I am not silly.
Did you almost say that I wasn't silly?
Yes.
Everybody knows that I'm silly.
Yes.
Okay.
There's only one person who's silly in the house, and that's you.
Oh man, this is not going the way I would like. Wish I had more clamps.
Well, then buy another packet of those clamps. Bye.
I made them.
Well, then make more clamps.
I did make more clamps.
I'm going outside, so bye.
Okay.
I did say bye in the first place, and you didn't even listen to me what I was saying.
Bye. Alright. May be in trouble. This spot here is not clamping down the way that it should. Let me try to move these to the interior. Let's give that a shot.
You made a lot of clamps.
Everybody, that's my wife, Brandy, whose YouTube channel is much more interesting than mine. You should check hers out. I was just telling Lemony this is not enough clamps.
That's not enough clamps?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Use what I've got as well as I can.
Wow. That's
Okay.
that's pretty amazing.
Up here seems clamped pretty well. Let's roll this one down and tighten it maybe. Oh boy. If there's any open seams after this is all done, then I can always seal those later. Big thing is getting the rest of these where they belong. Well, I still can. So the glue is already starting to get really tacky, which means it's drying. Okay. Let's get this last one on the shoulder. Here. Alright, we'll move these to the interior of the waist. Wrong one. There we go. That is pretty good. Oh. Just testing the seams now to see if there's any place where it's obviously coming up. I'm doing that by squeezing it and looking for bulges. Okay, a little bit right here. How's this side? This side looks okay. I think this side is okay. Oddly enough, I actually should have one more clamp. Is it like in my pocket or something? It's in my pocket. Now this is the side that has the repair on it, so I shouldn't be too surprised that it's going to require an extra clamp in order to get it fitted down onto the violin properly. That looks good. Up here looks good. That looks pretty good. I think we're in good shape. There it is. Whew. So, I will be doing video number 3 tomorrow after all of this has a chance to dry, and we'll have our big reveal. I can take the clamps off and see if everything stays where it's supposed to. And my soundpost setting tool arrived in the mail today, so I can set the soundpost. I might do a separate video for setting the soundpost. And then we'll string it up and see how it sounds, because it should be playable at that point. So there we go. Some things that other videos don't touch on. I would say that a minimum number of clamps would, as it turns out, be see, I had 6 before and I added 8, so there you go, 14. So minimum number of clamps is 14 for a job like this. And you definitely want to it's a big, gigantic blob of hide glue. I'm just going to clean that off real quick. There's a couple of them. I wasn't planning on cleaning it now, but if there's gigantic blobs that I can just see plain as day, then I might as well. Well, anyway. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now, this thing does not have a fitted bridge, so I may try and do something about that. But again, I don't have the appropriate tools. You know, I don't have any templates or anything like that, which are really useful. I do have her other violin, which has a half-size violin bridge. I may end up using that as a template. We'll see. Anyway, whew, that was nerve-wracking. And I think I see at least one place where I messed up. No? Well, it's difficult to say. It looks like it might be shifted that way too far. Yeah, definitely. So the top is now skewed a little bit. That's a shame. I don't think it's skewed so much that it'll cause problems. Noticeable problems. It'll definitely cause problems. As long as they're not too problematic, it should be okay. Yeah, I see what's going on there.